The point is, it's bullshit. I mean, I could elaborate a lot more and break that shit down, but I'm not going to.
Hey, what's going on, you broke motherfuckers?
Let's get fucking big!
You don't know what you do. It's just a feeling inside.
Hey, what's going on, you broke motherfucker? I'm here with the natural freak of nature, Jason Pate, and I'm Mike Diesel, getting fit and talking shit. So, what's on your brain? No, I'm so. What's going on?
So I've been thinking a lot about something you and I talked about yesterday, and it's the fact that, well, I heard it on the news, and I then went and did some research, looked it up and everything, seeing that there is a whey protein shortage, which, something that is kind of crazy. I mean, think about when we first started working out, like whey protein first taste. Did you never thought that type of stuff would become a shortage or anything like that? But now there's a huge shortage of whey protein. Saw that some manufacturers are actually sold out of their entire stock for the entire year.
Damn. For the entire year. Did it say
year.
anything about, and I've researched a little bit about it, but this has nothing to do with tariffs and stuff like that going on, or?
No, so this doesn't have anything to do with tariffs. It has a little bit more to do with, social media and stuff like that, and the fact that people are, I guess, following trends to add protein to everything that they eat and things like that. I know, for me, that's where I get a lot from. I don't do any shakes throughout the day, but my mornings are normally pretty protein rich. I eat my eggs and everything, and then I make my oatmeal with a half a scoop of protein mixed in. But no, it's more like people who are just trying to make sure that they're getting more and more protein inside their diets. They're starting to realize that it's more and more important. So following those social media trends, restaurants and stuff doing the exact same thing, trying to bump up the protein content of their meals and things like that. But a lot of it actually seems to have to do with, these GLP-1s and stuff like that. And that's a topic for a whole nother time to get into all those peptides and things like that. But because people are getting on these GLP-1s and all this different type of stuff, I haven't looked into it too in depth. It's something that people in the military are getting prescribed to them, but I still haven't looked at it too much. But I've heard people who have taken these peptides and these GLP-1s, and I heard one guy say, I was on a cruise and I didn't eat for 3 days, just completely slipped his mind because from the brief glimpse I did at it, it kind of just suppresses your hunger to get rid of that appetite. It's a huge appetite suppressant. So
these peptides you're speaking of?
Yeah, the peptides. So people are having to start switching over to taking, protein shakes and stuff like that in order to keep up their nutrition, so that they don't, essentially just waste away, all that different type of stuff. So it's causing a huge, huge shortage in whey protein. I was looking because I need to order some more. And, prices normally that probably gone up, I'd say about $7 from what I normally get. And I don't know if it's the higher end or more expensive stuff that is necessarily selling out. I tend to get more of the bargain brand type stuff.
Protein's protein, honestly. I mean, there are better versions, but go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's some to do with, muscle milk and its taste or, whatever. But essentially, your proteins are protein. You get anywhere between 20 to 30 grams of whey protein. You'll get a little bit of isolate sprinkled in, some casein sprinkled in. Normally looking from anywhere between 100 to 200 calories per serving. But I guess some people are trying to switch, or restaurants are trying to switch what brands they've used because they can't get a hold of their normal supplier, or they're completely out, and they're basically hey, this is our protein pancake. We switched our recipe to this other brand, and now it's essentially making sawdust instead of pancakes.
Damn. Well, I mean, honestly, back in the day, you couldn't even give away protein. Nobody was buying it like that. Hell, it was always stocked, ready to go. I
Yep.
mean, just for us, like we were like in a candy store. It was like, what? I mean, there was like, when an item's missing, there's a hole on the shelf. There was never a hole on the shelf when we went in there, except for when we were buying it. Um, but we were loading up because it was necessary.
Yeah.
Um, now did we go overboard sometimes? Because yes, we did, because we were kind of wasting it. Well, I was anyway. I was buying that shit and drink because it's all about real food. But even though we knew what we were doing as far as supplements, I don't know. There's a thing in your head. It's like, oh, I got to add another scoop. So I always would just add another scoop or something and put a little sugar in there. Right after the workout, shit like that. But the point I'm making is I did hear that. I did a little research myself, and it is honestly, it's kind of, and first of all, nothing scares us. But metaphorically, that shit's scary. Like, I mean, it is. It's like protein shortages. For us, it's a little scary. Um, I'm glad that, and again, I get whatever's out there. Like I said, if again, bargain stuff, obviously, right now, obviously, I'm looking at the label, but just to make sure they're not throwing in proprietary bullshit. But um, yes, as long as my source and I guess your source is still kind of stable, I don't think it would affect us too much. Now, unless you're not done, because I don't know where this is actually leading to. But yeah, actually answer that, and then I'll say something else about it.
Well, it's kind of funny. I just sat there and got a picture in my head. This is like the whole
Apocalypse.
formula shortage for new moms, except for now it's for bodybuilders.
Oh shit! Yeah, damn. Oh
Like,
shit! You're right.
where are we going to, trying to come up with their own stuff?
Mhm.
So I guess kind of where this is, like the whole reason why this is coming about is because like whey protein is a byproduct of dairy products that go and they make cheese and stuff like that, and it's kind of like I guess scooped off the top or whatever. Um, and really, you're not going to get these dairy manufacturers to produce more because then they have to hold on to excess cheese and stuff like that. So you're probably not going to see a spike in cheese being put out into stuff unless the Packers fans start wearing real cheese heads and stuff like that.
Damn. Mm.
But yeah, so the biggest thing is looking at like alternatives and things like that. Something you already mentioned is getting your whole food sources, getting in your lean proteins from your chicken, your lean hamburger, all that different type of stuff, steaks. Getting like your Greek yogurts and stuff like that. Looking at the possibility of getting in some of those plant blends, like I think it's like pea protein or something like that was a good source. I think I saw like brown rice protein or something like that.
Mhm.
But it's just one of those things that you can look at into saying, hey, I need to make sure that I've got that drink or whatever because I don't have the time to eat or I get a short lunch and I don't get to eat as much as I want to. So I'm really used to having that shake. Don't have the time to do all this meal prep. I need to get my shake in. Looking at some of those alternative sources, even if you can't get a shake, eating, a thing like low carb yogurt or something like that to try to bump it back up.
Chicken smoothies. Ah, good.
Or I guess go make a rush on Amazon or something like that.
Mhm. Oh shit. Okay, yeah. I don't know. All I could think of is when you were talking is just me making a chicken smoothie because we literally ran out of protein.
Well, that I also forgot. It was kind of funny when you say that protein never used to really fly off the shelf like that. When we were younger, like it tasted horrible. You had to pinch your nose to drink it. But I remember specifically working back at the supplement store back in the day, and like there was always an egg protein that sat on the shelf. Only like one person would come in and buy it. Like it was a powder, derived from eggs and things like that. But the dude swore by it. But eggs are like one of the most readily absorbable sources of protein in the body. So I mean, you can find protein powder. It's going to be a little bit more expensive, but the egg protein, the bovine protein, things like that. So there are still sources out there for you to find powders. It's just going to cost a little bit more money.
yeah, but that's for but that's the point of like eggs are so cheap now. I mean, they skyrocketed and they went down, but it's like, why would you waste money on that protein? All you're paying for is the tub and the fact that they grinded that shit up when you can get the same, just the same shit from eggs itself. But I get it. But go ahead, my bad. I see.
Well, you can Rocky Balboa that stuff and sit there and crack eggs into a cup and drink them that way.
Yeah.
But it's almost like the idea of having a convenience store. You walk into a store and the same drink that you might buy for, $2 at a regular grocery store is going to cost you $4 or $5 there because it's all about the convenience. Like, hey, stop, get your gas, get this. And then that's the whole idea behind the protein shake is just the convenience of I don't have to sit here and cook all this food. I don't have to do the meal prep. I can just mix it into whatever my solvent is, whether it be milk or for you gross people out there who do it in water. You can do it that way, shake it up and be good to go. Or,
I mean, there's some good protein shakes that if you do mix with water, because I hate mixing it with water, but then I found some, I was like, oh shit, this blueberry one. I was like, damn. But go ahead. But that's the only one. Go ahead.
Yeah, the isolates mix in pretty well. And that was kind of the selling point of some of the older proteins. I'm sure they've come a long way since then. I don't think since show prep I've tried mixing protein with water. I've just used strictly milk or even mixing it into to my coffee. Takes a little bit more to stir it in and get it to dissolve properly. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you can find some stuff out there that doesn't taste too bad with water. But that's like eating cereal with water.
True. Honestly, protein is for everybody out there, which you should know, is protein shakes, protein powders are just they're just meal replacements. Honestly, it's good for directly after a workout, but if you just stick to real food, you don't really need the protein powder. So honestly, the fact that there's it's just convenient for us because we can't make all our meals all the time. For me and you, I'm talking. So it is good to get it in, and it works. Now, if you repetitively tried to just use it, it's not going to work like that. So just right after a workout, get it in there, the insulin, everything, and then have a meal, what have you. That's just your typical bodybuilding though. But everybody should eat like that anyway, throw in a protein shake. But honestly, just based off of the story you just told me and the catastrophic situation going on, because it is for us. For me, when I hear about that, it's like, damn. Most people that are just fat and bloated, they don't give a shit about topics like this because they're just eating cheese sticks all day and they're going to die early. So at the end of the day, but this is very important. You should be afraid that the protein shits, what have you. And honestly, I think it's going to
maybe the biggest deterrent is the protein shits.
What damn? Oh shit. No, maybe it's a thing where, it's going to cause people to stop being lazy and actually eat real food and stop relying on it as well. And again, we use it but we know what we're using it for. But most people out there are so lazy, they're like, oh, let me just drink these shakes all day. And no, you're destroying your body doing that. Then you slim fast and, Ensures. And because all those are going to hell too. If that's the case, all these shakes and stuff out there that rely on that, they're obviously going to hell. But I think it would honestly cause people to cook more food and eat real food instead of relying on it. Now, because you got to understand, when we get a tub, it lasts for a while. We're not drinking this shit all day. So, well, I'm not anyway. But yeah. So as far as laziness, hell, maybe this brief laziness will get people to start cooking more, eating real healthy foods, and stop being lazy. But I do get what you're saying, though. Now, is there a shortage? Or you can add on to that, but is there a shortage like for for us too? Is that what you're saying? Or like everything in general? Go ahead.
I mean, when I go and order my stuff, it's like I buy it off of Amazon or I'll go buy it from Walmart if I'm in the store. So I don't have like a supplier out there that's sitting there like, oh no, this is Jason's stock. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
oh, shit.
Hook up like that, somebody who's holding on specifically for Mike Diesel. Yeah, it's affecting everybody. It's a worldwide shortage.
Oh yeah, yeah. We definitely have a wholesaler for just us. No, it's damn. Yeah, soon we will, but I get it. No, I just didn't, because even though, because we obviously right now we could go on and order some tubs, right? But what I'm saying is there could be limits now. It could get to a point where out of stock we see for weeks on end, because this literally just happened not too long ago. So they're obviously alerting us to something that's going on. So the way it's sounding and the way what I looked up is that it's going to get worse. It will get worse unless I don't know I know the process of what they do to make it. Are they going to have to, because it costs money too to do that. Are they going to have to increase certain things? Did you hear about that side of it is what I was getting to as far as like creating more and like, oh shit, now we gotta up our stock, because it costs more money to do that as well. Or do they not have the product? That's what I'm asking.
Essentially, from what I saw, it's just going to be a shortage. Like, there's not going to be a bump up in production, because if you're going to bump up production, you've got to have more protein manufacturers. Like they've still got like their normal routine that they go through to make stuff. You can't just all of a sudden say, nope, we're going to go double, triple speed on doing this different type of stuff. You start to cut into your quality and all that different type of stuff. So from what I saw, no, there's not a short-term solution to this other than, hopefully trends and fads break. People are like, man, I'm spending X amount of extra dollars per month and I can't keep doing that. Or, they're like, oh, I'm not seeing the results I want because they don't follow through with the fitness side of things. So, I don't really know. We'll just have to wait it out.
Hey, what's going on, you broke motherfuckers?
Let's get fucking big!
You don't know what you do.